In the mid-1990s, the English midfield was strictly segregated. You had the destroyers, stocky, aggressive players tasked with winning the ball through sheer physical force. Then you had the playmakers, smaller, technically gifted players responsible for actually distributing it. Rarely did the two skill sets overlap. A largely unknown prospect who had made only a handful of senior appearances for AC Milan. His arrival coincided closely with another major shift at the club, the appointment of his compatriot Arsène Wenger. Vieira noted speaking French with the incoming manager heavily influenced his decision to sign. He made his mark almost immediately. Following a substitute appearance in September 1996, the press quickly noted his unusual profile. The Times called him a thinking man's Carlton Palmer, who finally gave the local midfield some much-needed variety. The traditional definition of a central midfielder began to fracture. You no longer had to choose between a physical enforcer and a technical distributor. Early on, Vieira built a reputation rooted in extreme hostility. He accumulated red cards at an alarming rate, drawing multi-match bans and eventually taking a record £45,000 fine from the Football Association for spitting at a player after a foul. His disciplinary record was punctuated by intense physical rivalries. Clashes with opposing captains became appointment viewing, most notably a legendary tunnel bust-up at Highbury with Manchester United's Roy Keane. Yet operating alongside that aggression was elite technical grace. Teammate Ian Wright remarked that Vieira looked at the forward run first, delivering dream passes that completely opened up opposing defenses. This presents an interesting contradiction. A player constantly in trouble with the referees, routinely engaging in physical altercations, was simultaneously executing some of the most delicate, highly calculated passes in the league. Critics often focused entirely on the violence, viewing him as a traditional bruiser hitting an occasional pass. In reality, the aggression was a shield, allowing a highly intellectual tactician space to orchestrate the game. This animated graphic shows the stark contrast in coverage areas. On the left, a traditional 1990s midfielder's heat map stays rigidly in one zone. On the right, Vieira's territory spans entirely from his own penalty box to the opponent's. He perfected the modern box-to-box profile, combining the defensive stamina of a center-back with the elite vision and anticipation of a number 10. At 6'4", his long stride allowed him to cover immense ground. He could physically dominate smaller playmakers, winning back possession before the opposition could set up their attacking shape. But the defining trait was his transition speed. The moment he won a tackle, he didn't look for a safe lateral pass. He instantly pivoted, driving the ball forward to bypass the midfield and link directly with attackers. This exact combination of power and immediate transition anchored the 2003 to 2004 Arsenal squad. Under his captaincy, that team completed an entire 38-game league season without a single defeat. The physical intimidation served a specific purpose. It was a calibrated tactical tool designed to dictate the tempo and control the geometry of the entire pitch. His tactical influence extended well beyond North London. In the summer of 1998, he stepped onto the international stage, setting up the third goal in the final to help France secure the FIFA World Cup. He quickly evolved into a core, undisputed leader for the national team. 2 years later, he played as a first-choice midfielder throughout the tournament, securing the UEFA Euro 2000 title. When he eventually left Arsenal, he took that exact same dominance to Italy. He signed with Juventus and immediately anchored a midfield that won the league title, prior to the club being stripped of it during the Calciopoli scandal. Even as persistent groin and knee injuries began to limit his minutes, his presence guaranteed results. He secured consecutive league titles at Inter Milan before finishing his playing career back in England, lifting the FA Cup with Manchester City. Across different leagues, countries, and very tactical systems, his unique cerebral physical profile consistently yielded major trophies. In July 2011, McKee retired from playing at the age of 35. Rather than stepping away from the sport, he immediately transitioned into a youth development role at Manchester City. Given his fiery reputation on the pitch, many expected his managerial style to rely on aggression and raw motivation. Instead, players encountered a deeply methodical tactician. Over the next decade, he built a globe-spanning managerial resume. He took charge of New York City FC, moved to Nice in League One, returned to the Premier League with Crystal Palace, and later managed Strasbourg and Genoa. His spell at Crystal Palace perfectly illustrated his philosophy. He inherited a team built around reactive, counter-attacking football and carefully dismantled it, installing a proactive possession-based system that required patience and precise passing. The touchline demeanor finally confirmed what the statistics had hinted at for years. The manager demanding strict positional discipline was the exact same tactical mind that had governed the midfield 2 decades prior. The coaching philosophy and the playing style are drawn from the identical footballing intellect. The ability to read the game, anticipate movement, and control the tempo never changed. Today, elite clubs routinely spend hundreds of millions of dollars scouring the globe for a single player who can offer that precise combination of physical aggression and technical grace. Patrick Vieira dismantled the traditional rules of the English midfield. In doing so, he drew the definitive blueprint that the rest of the footballing world is still trying to replicate today.